Day 3 in this drill cutout. Call it a drill cutout because we usually do 3 or 4 rounds uh, into the wall to make a cutout for a long hole drill, usually 16 to 20 meters, and we can get the long hole drill in there and they drill a stope and it becomes a draw point. So this would be the third round in here, check over the heading and what the cross shift left me. Uh, I try and never assume the worst about my cross shift. I always assume that they had a good reason for doing what they're doing, and they did what they thought was best. So I just kind of try and pick up where they left off, and I don't get too frustrated about what they have left me. So I see I'm broke down here. I got the boom is looks like it was sagged into the ground. I'm parked on top of some screen here. A little bit short on rebar. I have no idea what was going on the previous shift. Why they're parked on the screen, low on gear, who knows? But that is what it is, so I just carry on and I get started with my repairs. Replace a couple of hoses on there and straighten out a bracket that got bent. The injector hose guide bracket. I'm going to straighten that out with a chain on a rebar here. So I wanted to make this video on the mining cycle to give a little bit better understanding of the differences between the mining cycle and the tunneling cycle. Even though they're kind of the same job with the same objective, they they are different. And just to give a better understanding as a whole, rather than individual jobs with individual tricks, show how they all kind of tie in together and how they're so important to each other. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to include mucking in this cycle video, but I just didn't get the opportunity to be in a scoop while filming this. But I think it's a much underappreciated part of the cycle, and it definitely has its do's and don'ts to that job as well. So just wrapping up the last wrap on the back here. I see I have to retreat and put one on down on the wall. Um, I always prefer bolt my way in, and that way don't have any walls that aren't supported in case I have to go out around the boom. There's nothing over my shoulder or on the other side of my machine or where I might have to walk to gear up my machine. It'll all be supported. Oh, one last face prep. You can see I do the three scrapes left to right, up down, and then I do my quick muck outs, my quick back blades, and I'm done and already at the face. So I get my laser on the face there and I measure out from the laser, get my walls, make sure that they're right on the money. Usually I have just 1 meter spacing out until I get to the wall, and I do the same down, make sure I'm on the money, and I'll have to drop a paint can. There we go, because when I pull the jumbo in, I'll be in front of the laser and I won't be able to have the laser on my boom. So just drop a paint can down there and I put my boom over the paint can and I get my front and back sight that way. There you go, just like that. Last couple of grow pose, a little bit of digging. Try and do this quick or not at all because you don't want to be exposed to the face there. I'll go over my work here. So you can see I've kept a nice pattern here with my bolts and screen. Not too many bolts, just enough bolts. If you put in too many extra bolts, you're wasting materials, you're wasting time, and it's more maintenance on the machine because you're working it more. So try and keep a nice pattern, no extra bolts, but keep it safe and follow the engineer specs that usually are on your print. You'll see here I got some lifter markers. I just got some rebar with. Preferably use some white PVC pipe. Mark the bottom holes. Keep them dry. Works really nice. Uh, Nice for the loaders. You can see looking closer at my bolting. I got nice overlap with my screen. Bolts are always through the center of the overlap, and I did not too bad of a job with the pillar here. It's kind of not very good. Could have bolted lower, done a better overlap. You can see, but looking from a distance, the nice pattern I've got going in following along the walls, nice and even, nice and tight bolts. I like to be able to offer a warranty with my bolting. If I bolted it's good. And you can see here's a better example of the benefit of the rock drill position sensors. Just buttons all over the face. Normally, if you have more varying differences between your drill hole depths, if you have an uneven face, you get a lot more loose and a lot more bootleg, and that's a lot more risk. So the more fractured ground you have on the face, the much higher chance you have of that face peeling off at a unexpected time. And if you get lots of bootleg, so say you're blasting a 4 meter round and you're only, blasting 3 meters of it, or sometimes even worse, you're only blasting 2 meters of it, then you get all of that fractured rock hanging on the face, and it may not be as easy to identify for everybody. And then when you drill on the face, um, all the water runs through all the fractured ground and it makes it all loose, and they're just widow makers. And I've seen a lot of people get the machines caught, or it just comes down unexpected, and they think that the solution is to split set the face and, oh, we need more ground support. But a lot of the times it's to just need better blasting. And the better blasting is seems like a no-brainer that it comes from drilling, but a lot of people, they don't think that far back in the chain, and they go to want to be more support, but it should be better blasting, which is better drilling, which is the drill position sensors. And not to say that it's not possible to do a good job just as a driller. You could do your paint lines on your booms or your string, or just measure it or eyeball it, or just do a good cut. Whatever tricks you use, it is no comparison to a computerized measuring stick that can stop your drill steel within a centimeter or a millimeter of accuracy and follow a computer design. It's just, we're not, I don't know. I'm certainly not there, and anybody that is, I just bow down. But these things, the drill position sensor, are the one of the most useful things I think that I have used in mining so far. So if I know the face is good, I'll get out and dig out all the lifters for the loaders there, so it's easy and quicker for them to find them. And then the loaders can just take one quick look and they can see all the lifters, and they know that they don't have to call for a scoop for a cleanup, or I don't have to call for a scoop for a cleanup. Right to load in the back here, you'll see how quick this goes now. Just pretty much wrapping this day up, and this cutout is done other than the split setting the face. So next would be long hole drill and muck wedge, but those are all another videos for another time. That's the end.